running across the yard.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
A good-sized man, or something. It looks like a man.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was.
Welcome to Sasquatch Hypotheses.
If I was going to take it, so whatever it was, it was taken. Jesus Christ, you better...
Sure.
Zia!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
Son of a bitch is about 6'9".
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
And the guy is on foot.
I don't know what, it's a big, real big person.
But it is a person.
Yeah, I'd say it was a person, somebody really big.
Good evening, folks. Sasquatch Hypotheses. I'm Reverend Rick. Tonight, I'm going to do a little something different tonight. First, I'm going to do a little dialogue about LBL, Dogmen, etc. Tell a couple of stories about some encounters, actually very tragic encounters that happened at LBL. And then this is going to be open for discussion about the debate between Dogmen and Bigfoot. Does Dogman exist, etc. Anyway, LBL is an area that's up on the Tennessee-Kentucky border. There's two rivers that come down. And back in the 60s, the government put some dams up there, which turned them into two lakes with a narrow strip of land in between. Now, this area has campgrounds and, all kinds of stuff, paths, things like that, hiking paths. People have been camping there for decades. Back in the 1980s, there was a family of four. Some of you know this story, and I've touched on this story in other episodes, but I'm going to give the entire story right now. There were a family of four that went camping there. There was a father, mother, son, and daughter. Now, when the father was outside setting up the stabilizer jacks on their camper, the son was there to help. Well, a Bigfoot, I'm going to call it a Bigfoot, and you'll find out later why. A Bigfoot came up and killed the son. The father turned around and tried to fight the thing. The thing dispatched the father. Well, the mother inside heard all this commotion going on and went to the door and opened the door, and she saw this Bigfoot viciously attacking her husband and son and slammed the door. The Bigfoot went up and ripped the door off and tore his way into the camper. They have evidence that he was actually physically inside the camper, not just reaching his arm in or whatever. He literally tore the door off and went inside the camper. And inside the camper, the mother fought viciously to protect herself and her daughter, who was in the back. They found her fingernails had been ripped off. They found hair, all kinds of evidence that she had put up a hell of a fight. Now, when first responders got there, it was a couple of local, I believe, county sheriffs. They went looking for, they went to investigate the scene, found this horrific scene, but they only found the father, the son, and the mother. They had no idea that there was also a little girl. When they were checking out the inside of the camper, they noticed that the door at the back of the camper had been torn off, and they went back and investigated and discovered that there was some clothing for a little girl. So they immediately started to search the vicinity to see if they could find this little girl. Well, one of the first two sheriffs that had gotten there was walking through the woods looking, and he had stopped, and he started to hear this sound. Something hitting the brim of his Smokey Bear hat. He looked up, and when he did, a drop of blood went right in his eye. Of course, he freaked out. And what it was the little girl, I believe she was nine years old, I believe she was, reportedly. The little girl was stuck in like the crook of a tree about 30 feet up and had been partially eaten. The cop freaked out and couldn't handle it. He was just a mess. Him and his partner went back towards town. and ended up stopping at a gas station where they frequented all the time. And this is actually where I heard this story, was from the girl who was working at that gas station at the time. And she was wondering what was wrong with him. She went out and sat down, on that concrete business around the gas pumps, and asked him what was wrong. And that's when he proceeded to tell her the story that I just related to you. And as I understand, if I remember correctly, he couldn't be a sheriff anymore. But anyway, that was quite a horrific story, and a lot of times it's gotten wrong. People think there's only 3 people instead of 4, that there was no little girl, or that nobody was eaten. Yes, the little girl was partially eaten. Oddly, she was the only one that was partially eaten. The rest of them were just torn apart and killed. Anyway, so my second story is about a guy who went bow hunting out there, and he went tenting, or he took a tent out and went camping and did some bow hunting over the weekend. Well, when he didn't show up, his family called the authorities, and the authorities went out there. They found his tent, and evidently his tent had ripped his tent to shreds, ripped open his tent, grabbed him by the feet, and drug him for 2 miles. Now, about 100 yards from the tent, they found his bow snapped in half. He had a compound bow snapped in half. They continued to follow, and at the end of the trail, they found a pool, bloody area. I won't say a pool of blood, bloody area, where evidently they stopped and eaten the guy. So, those are 2 stories, horrific, and ended in people being killed and eaten by what a lot of people report are dogmen. I call it a Bigfoot because I have a hard time with the whole concept of dogmen. And only because people are saying that they have opposable thumbs, but they have legs like a dog. To me, see, that's just not genetically possible. Primates have opposable. That's it. Just primates. So it's just, I just don't see how it could be genetically possible for a canine to have, I guess, interbred with a primate somehow, or have coincidentally developed the same features just in his hands, like that the primates did, because supposedly, reportedly, he has the dog in the head of a dog. So that just seems like a little odd to me. Now, I could easily accept that it's a canine that just, hundreds of thousands or millions of years ago started walking bipedally. I could accept that, but I can't accept the whole opposable thumbs and part primate, part canine. I don't get that. So anyway, I want to leave this stream, well, not my video stream, but this page, I guess, will be open for quite a while, where the chat should stay active in the whole 9, whether I'm on here or not. And I'll be coming in every now and then to see what everyone's talking about and participate in the conversation, kind of thing. So this is a different way of doing it than I usually do it. I also tried to do an experiment for what I was calling town hall, and that was going to be like a regular hangouts where people could come in and everyone could be on camera and participate in conversation, literal actual conversation instead of chat. But the audio and the video weren't synced up very well. I left that video up there because I plan on seeing if that can be fixed, because I really like the idea of doing that town hall idea. But this is my idea. I want to go have my live show on Saturday night, on Wednesday night do a town hall, and then whenever there is a subject such as this, the debate about dogmen, I'm going to go ahead and start one of these types of streams where the chat will stay open and I can pop in and pop out without killing the video. So this will just stay until I actually tell it to stop. And that way we can have a long-term conversation over days about the whole debate of dogmen. So I'm going to have a look at the chat and see if any of you guys have showed up here. It looks like there was 11 people at one point. Still here? Hi, Francis. If you're still there, is anybody there? Go ahead and say hi so I know that there's somebody still here. It says 0. So I don't know if anyone's still here or not. Hi, Jamar. All right. Hi, Jamar. How's everybody doing tonight? I need to swap these or monitors, rather. Just a second, guys. I'm swapping my programs monitor. Just easier for me to deal with chat in this. Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, this is, I don't know if how much of that you saw, but I'm going to try and leave this active for a few days so that we can debate this whole Dogman thing. Hi, True to Form. Hey, True to Form, you called me the other night at like 2 a.m. Did you intend to do that? Because I was sleeping, you know. But I tried to call you back the next day and I didn't get an answer. I'm all right. Actually, you know what? I should put the link to my other channel where I'm actually discussing what's going on with me and my MS. I'll do that. Let me see if you guys keep talking. I'll see if I can find it. Actually, if you do a search for Destination Life, that's the name of my channel. And then you'll hear all about what's going on with me and my MS. And I'd appreciate it. Go there, subscribe, because I just started it and I only got 3 subscribers so far. No, I wouldn't go unarmed either. I wouldn't go anywhere looking for Bigfoots unarmed. Anywhere at all. I would always be armed. Actually, be right back. Show you. Okay. I plan to take, is this the right one? Okay. I have to put my glasses on. I'm an old man now. I don't see like I used to. Yeah. There's these bad boys. You're taking a 12 gauge out with me, and this is a Brennecke Black Magic Magnum. The 3-inch shell. These things, if you don't know how to shoot a shotgun, these things will put a hurt on you as well as whatever you shoot with them. But they're supposed to be able to take down a grizzly bear, so I suspect they'll at least knock a Sasquatch down. In addition to that, I got this nice case. It's a middle of the road knife. Got a Tonto blade on it it'll go through the hood of a car, so that's in case of close quarters if I have to. Then I have this, which I don't know how handy it might come in. I even don't know if I'll take it, but the sword, extremely sharp. I had planned on taking all that crap with me when I'm, got my motor home and I go camping and stuff. Because if the shotgun don't work and he keeps coming, I'll take the sword and put it through the middle of him. And if that don't work, the knife, I'll slit his throat. So, and then if I'm still alive, I'll have a story to tell. And plenty of blood samples for somebody, you know. Yeah, tell people to go there and subscribe because it's not looking like I'm going to get disability. So, because I owned my own company for a long time, I'm disqualified for regular Social Security disability. And SSI is a household assignment or whatever they call it. And since my mother and my sister already have, well, my sister has disability, they're not going to give it to me. So I have to figure out how I'm going to make money without being able to work. So this is going to be my only way of making money is YouTube, at least until I'm able to start driving Uber and Lyft or something like that. The other thing is, in addition to the 12 gauge, I'm buying some black powder pistols, like the Old West kind of stuff. There's a black powder, is a 45 caliber. They call it a 44, but it's really a 45 caliber. So it's got a little bit of stopping power up close anyway. I mean, you know, I don't think I'd take down a Sasquatch at, you know, better than 50 yards, but if he's up close, I got him. You know, I'll put a hurt on him with one of those. And it's cheaper than buying like a Desert Eagle or something, which, you know, I don't know. So who all else is out there? I've got, well, 1, 2, 3. This thing says there's nobody here at all. It says 0, which is weird. It looks like I got 4 guys here. If you haven't said hello yet, please, you know, go ahead and type in, say hello so I know how many people are here. Can anybody else tell how many viewers does it say I have? Because I don't see it. There isn't. Oh, okay. So I got 12 people right now. Hell, that's a record for me. 6 is the best I've done so far at one time. Yeah. Also the background. The background is all of the CG and the ones that are like sketches. I drew those before I lost the ability to draw. Those are all. It was me trying to draw the Sasquatch I saw years ago, and when the drawing didn't quite do it, I moved on to doing some CG, and I decided, well, along the way as I did the refining, you know, they all kind of have a little bit different look, little different tweaks. It's a good idea. Put them up here, and anyone who's had a Sasquatch sighting, maybe coyotes are going like nuts outside. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Let me see. My other mic hooked up, or I'd put it up there so y'all could listen to these coyotes. They're going crazy. I thought I heard a funny sound too just before they did it, but I was so busy talking I wasn't paying attention. All right, they've stopped now. Anyway, heck, what the hell was I saying? What do you guys say? And 11. Yeah, you don't have to keep giving me a count. I actually found a spot where I can see it now. Hi, Stephanie. Does anyone remember Romper Room? Maybe I'm the oldest one here, but you'd look in the mirror and say, "I see Jamar and Stephanie and Guy and John." Yes, the right shell, Brennecke Black Magic Magnum. It'll take down a grizzly bear. The 3-inch high brass. This thing will knock you on your butt if you don't know what you're doing before it hits whatever it's hitting. Well, I don't have a Squatch. I mean, who said that? Ori, I don't know if you were on my show the other day where I talked about who was I talking to? Robin, Robin Long Soldier, and I was talking about the scream I heard out here a couple of 2-3 weeks ago. It was like a really high pitch, real loud. I did it better the other day, but and just before, and then the coyotes went crazy. Pretty sure that was a Sasquatch screaming, and it was about. I went up driving up there to see what's up there. About a mile away where these things are. They're they're at it again. Oh no, that's a plane. Had a weird howling sound. So Stephanie, you remember Romper Room? I see Stephanie, and I see who? Adrian and John. And hi, Robin. How you doing? I was wondering if you were going to show up in there tonight. Yeah, I was just talking about you. 50 is young. Ruth Ann. Oh, Ruth Ann. I guess you're older than 50. I'm assuming, unless you're just trying to be nice. Wow. I guess I'm attracting my own demographic because I'm 53 too. Yeah, Jamar, I agree with you about there's a lot of reports. I mean, I can't dismiss it altogether. I'm just saying the way that it's been described as being part primate, part canine, that doesn't work for me. So I feel it's either a Bigfoot that's misidentified and or it just has its hair is all messed up or something. Or it's literally a canine that thousands or millions of years ago started to walk upright. No thumbs, it has all paws, but it walks upright. I could buy that. We should call this the what is it? I can't think of the name. This MS just messes with my memory bad. The Silver Sasquatch clan or group. The Silver Sasquatch group. I don't think it's genetically made. I mean, they can't even genetically make a sheep, you know. Well, Dolly, I guess, lived a bit, but she was all messed up, man. There's no way that they're making something as complex as a what do you call it, dogman. I mean, they had a hard time just cloning a sheep, let alone genetically, creating a whole new life form. Anubis, like, yeah, I think it is interesting that Anubis dogman, but see, then again, you got to wonder if the the idea of Anubis isn't really the genesis of the reports of dogmen. Through mistaken identity of a Bigfoot. Southern Creighton, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of the long way around. You ever heard of Occam's razor? The easiest explanation is often the right one. Oh, what was that? Plum Island? You say Plum Island, Stephanie? I think because it looks like it says Olam Island. Yeah, she said cousin it. Yeah. I hope this chat actually shows up next to the video later when somebody's watching it, because otherwise, they'll be like, well, "What are you saying? What are you talking about?" LBL was a face eater. Did you say what? John Flick, you're saying that I've not heard that. The two stories I told, there was nothing about a face being eaten. Are you saying that you've heard stories of the beast of LBL eating people's faces off? Yeah, I got to put mine back on because I can barely read this stuff. I wonder if I can make this print bigger. See if I can make it bigger. All right, this one. There we go. All right, I lost some of your all's conversation. Let me get caught up here. Oh, the last thing I said was something about John Flick. Oh, a face eater. Yeah. Dr. Moreau is nonfiction. That's the first time I've heard that. Well, if anyone. Oh, hi, Robin. Yeah, I got them. It's going to take me some time to go through them all. I love that little 5-second video that you sent. That looks really good, but I haven't had a chance to do that either. I've been running around the last 2 days as well, so I've only had at night to do it, and there's a lot there to go through. So I'll be going through it over the next couple of days. I love that that Bigfoot behind the picnic table though. That's really good video. John Flick, why do you keep saying face eater? I mean, out with the story. Where have you heard this? I've never heard anything about a face eater. Never heard anything about a face eater. You guys are the first ones I've ever heard it from. Bobu? You mean a bonobo? Boo boo? What are you saying there, John? Why is it so hard to catch one? You ever tried to catch a greased pig or a chicken? Or how about how hard it is just to catch your own dog when it doesn't want you to catch it? Now you add, 800 pounds to it and some intelligence and a big thick forest. How hard would it be? Yeah, I've heard that too, Jamar. That there's a Bigfoot in the south, Dogmen in the north. I've never heard of face eater before. Are you saying that they're like just regular Bigfoots, but they've been killing people and their faces off or something? Kind of doesn't even make sense. I mean, I could see them eating their liver or whatever, but if all they're doing is eating their faces, it's unless they're psycho. It reminds me of Hannibal Lecter, really. You have a Hannibal Lecter Bigfoot. Brian Sullivan, World Bigfoot Radio Show has. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that before. Yeah, that's a really good video. The problem is that it could be a guy in a suit. I kind of doubt it. I mean, the guy would have to have a lot of money because that suit would have been trashed after he sat in that swamp like that. The entire Earth population could fit in Jacksonville County, Florida, and have 3 feet from each other. Yeah, I guess if it's standing room only, maybe. I mean, we got like, what is it now? I think we're almost at 8 billion people. I think we're at 7 for sure. I think we're almost at 8 billion people now. You're saying there's 8 billion square feet of land in Jacksonville, Florida, Jacksonville County. Indigo type of Bigfoot are also called face eaters. Oh, Wendigo. That's yeah. Well, actually, when Brenda Harris is on, I think she's Native American, so I think that's where the Wendigo originated from. We have to get her to tell us the real scoop on Wendigos. Well, we had 14 people in here just a minute ago. Actually, according to my graph here, we had, I think it was 18, 19 people. I'm setting some records tonight. What time is it? 10 o'clock. I thought maybe I should come on earlier, but it's about the same time. So, folks, I'm going to leave this open. Hopefully, this chat should stay active, until I decide to close it in a few days or whatever, so that people can continue to debate this whole Dogman thing. And of course, I'll be popping in here and there to see what's going on. Has everyone here had a Bigfoot encounter? Yeah, that's a good question, Stephanie. I have. If y'all have watched my episode 1, you've heard about. I've had 2 sightings, and the third, I think I was being paralleled. Yeah, supposedly when you become a Wendigo, and it's kind of like a werewolf kind of scenario. So, hey, anybody who's here who has seen a Bigfoot, are you watching my slideshow? Tell me if any of them look similar to the one that you saw. Yeah, especially you, Robin. Do any of the Bigfoots on my slideshow look like any of the ones you saw? There's one with Caucasian skin right there. Oh, that's right. Robin's a Native American too. You've never heard of a Wendigo, Robin? I thought that was a Native American thing. Like skinwalkers. Southern Creighton. This is what you want. This is a Brennicky Black Magic Magnum Slug. Telling you, this thing will tear you up as well as whatever you're shooting, unless you know how to shoot it. Thing is real powerful. Oh, I missed it, Robin. I wasn't looking. I'll have to rewind it later when I get off and see where you were talking about. With that black hair. Okay. Yeah, I've heard it two ways. There's one of them is it's kind of like a werewolf scenario where you kind of become it. I think it's at night, just like a werewolf too. And then I've also heard that it's a spirit that comes and helps people. And there's movies that are made about them both ways too. Well, the Brennicky, this Black Magic Magnum, if I remember right, it's 20, or is it, no, not 20. Can't remember how much. This thing moves. That was one I researched this thing just for specifically for Bigfoot. And I remember this was the best option out there. I can search it for you if y'all give me a minute. I'm going to be doing this for a second. So y'all, I'll be right back. Okay, it moves at 1,502 feet per second. The muzzle energy is 3,014 foot-pounds. Catch that? Southern Creighton. Catch that? 1,500 speed or the velocity, and over 3,000 is the muzzle energy. Yeah, I've shot him, man. You shoot 5 rounds, or you can't shoot no more. Shoulder sore. Really powerful. Why I picked. But when you get a Sasquatch coming at you, I don't think you're going to care how hard. Yeah, it's a 1 in 3. Create something. Hi, Mike. It's like 1,505 or something feet per second, and over 3,000 foot-pounds at the muzzle energy. I don't think Sasquatch have a clue about guns unless they've, ones who have seen people shooting guns. Yeah, I'm sure they know that thing goes bang and deer fall. But some people talk about them as if they know what a gun. I just don't believe, because I mean they're very intelligent, but I don't think they're at that point yet. Because in order for that to be the case, Sasquatch would have to have like cell phones so that they can call each other and say, "Hey, man, they got this 30-30, blah blah blah." There wouldn't be no way to change that knowledge. I mean, the idea of what a gun is cannot possibly be genetic. So either they're talking to each other all over the country, telling each other what a gun is, or it's only specifically the ones who have seen a gun in use. Does that make sense? Oh yeah, I love 12 gauge. It's a big rifle. It is. I mean, especially you shoot something like that. I mean, 1,500 feet per second. You know, no, M16 is only a little over 2,000. Not even another 1,000 feet per second. Short hair around the face looks like a giant eye. Oh, really? That's interesting. No, they only know what a gun can do if they've seen it. All Bigfoot don't know what a gun is. People who say that drive me crazy. There's no way all Bigfoot can know what a gun is. They just can't. It's like saying all people know what a gun is. People are far more intelligent than Bigfoot. But if you go out in the middle of Africa to some primitive tribe out there, start shooting a gun, unless they've seen one before, they'll have no idea what it is. Now, I think it's quite possible that they're afraid, like, you point anything, point a stick at them, and they'll react the same because all they know is you pick up something that you're going to be aggressive. I think one of my favorite ones is the one with the green background. I don't know why, but I think that's one of my favorite ones. So, guys, Dogmen, everyone believe in a Dogman or not? I mean, thoroughly believe in it. How many people here have seen a Bigfoot or a Dogman at an encounter? Yeah, true to form, they can't know what a gun is unless they've seen one. No different than people. You're telling me that they're smarter than humans. I mean, if we're talking about all Bigfoot, if you're just talking about ones that live around humans and have seen guns, yeah, sure. But some guys out there talk like they all just know what a gun is. Humans can't even know it unless they've seen one. Related to coffee? What is? LBL? I've heard it, like I said in the beginning of the show. I heard that story on an interview. I forget whose interview. I've heard it from two different sources. I heard it from the girl that actually worked in the gas station, who was the one who talked to the cop right after he came from the crime scene. But I also heard it from Bear, who actually went there and investigated himself and talked to the rangers who were there. And now, either Bear, no, actually, I think it was Coonbo. It was one of the two. They actually went there and investigated because they thought it might have been crap too, but it turned out not to be. So I mean, I don't know for sure, but based on the two stories I heard and the people who told them, believable they seem to be, and they're have their facts the same. You know, hey, it sounds true to me. Weren't you off, Brett? Disagreeing about that viewers. Yeah, I don't. If I don't believe something, I'm not going to say I do. Sorry. I mean, I don't believe that they can just know what a gun is any more than we can. Yeah, it was Coonbo. Yeah, went and investigated it. I knew it was either him or Bear because they both sound alike, so it's hard for me to separate them because I can hear them talking about it. Oh, Robin, by the way, I'm taking my time going through your videos, the video and your photos, because uh, Brenda Harris is going to be on Saturday, but the following Saturday I plan on making a show about your photos. So I was actually going to email you and see if you wanted to come back on and go in a little more into detail about each one of them. Well, each one that I'm going to. Because some of them don't look like they're going to come out too good. Some of them look like they're going to be too pixelated. There's a few of them that look like they're promising. That video in particular. He went and talked to one of the rangers who was involved in the investigation. Family of four, actually the family of four and the hunter. He was involved in both of them, if I remember right. You know, the guy told him everything he had heard from somebody else who had told him about. I think he talked to two different people. They both told. Robin, are you saying okay to me that you're interested in being on the show again? Not this Saturday weekend, but the next weekend to talk about your pictures and stuff. Is that what you're saying? Say yes, Rick. If saying yes. Robin, say yes, Rick. I don't know if yes is you're yesing somebody else or yesing me. Or I guess I should assume you're not. But I'm in. Oh, okay. All right. I got you. I thought so, but I want to make sure because I can't see you. Well, you could go to that campground. I mean, as I understand it, that campground isn't even open anymore. They closed it right after that, soon after that. 10-4 or what? I don't get it. What are you saying there, Mike? I'm 5 miles from Tennessee. Literally 5 miles. Did that answer your question there? Uniform? I'm about 5 miles from Tennessee, and I think I'm just slightly east of the center of Alabama, north of Huntsville, basically. You know where that is. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. He did. He had a group up there. So have y'all gone and subscribed to my Destination Life channel so you can keep up with me on my MS journey, my MS battle? True to form, are you telling me to get out and do some field work? Because again, go to my Destination Life channel and keep up with my MS battle. I was planning on putting some knobby tires on my walker so I can get out in the woods. I don't think, what am I, maybe an hour and a half, I think, something like that from LBL. I might actually head up there. You'll have to refresh my memory. I get a lot of emails, Jamar. What was in it? What were you talking about? Email me again then. I mean, that's probably the easiest way. Just send it to me again and then you'll know. Jamar, I'm not sure. The only person, I've not had anybody email me telling me about Bigfoot encounters yet. Nobody. Because otherwise I'd have them on the show. That's kind of the whole thing. Email me Bigfoot encounters and then I get you on the show. So you might have emailed me. I seem to remember it might have been your email, basically kind of hinting around about Bigfoot and research, but there was nothing ever about an encounter. I mean, if you did, then I didn't get it. So you should send it again so that I can get you on the show to talk about it. Creighton, can you email me your information there, and I'll actually make plans to come up there. Seriously, just tell me like what we would do and when would be a good time, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. Because I mean, if I'm coming up there and it's your home court, I don't know what I'm doing once I get up there. Do you have a FLIR? All right, I'll be looking for your email then. Where are we at? Did we lose a bunch of people? Is this too boring for y'all? We've lost like 5-6 people. Is this too boring? I'm gonna leave it on anyway, but yeah, I have a Seek thermal too. It's only good for like, I don't know, 15, 20 feet, something like that. So is everybody looking forward to Brenda being on the show on Saturday? And I promise you, this time she's going to be on the show. Me and her talked. She was like falling all over herself, apologizing. She's definitely going to be on the show. Well, mine's old. I forget. I got mine. It was the very first model, actually, of Seek Thermal. So I know that they've come out with better ones since then. Actually, I think FLIR even has one that competes with Seek. It's supposed to be, well, the first one wasn't that good, but it's supposed to be pretty good by now, I guess. Continued it. Yeah, Brenda's one of my favorite investigators. I've always liked her since. Oh, I don't know. I first saw her video years ago. She seems a lot like me. She's very pragmatic and realistic about it. It's not like moneymaker. That was a squatch. That was a squat. You know. Yeah, Brenda seems to really get into it. I mean, she's some of the, talking to her on the phone. I mean, they've got some serious things happening around there. I don't want to talk too much about it because she's going to be on the show to talk about it herself. All right, guys, this is an experiment. So I'm going to stop transmitting my video stream, but this should stay active. Hopefully, that's what it's going to do so that people can keep chatting. That way I can come in and out, and see what everyone's been talking about. Well, thanks, Jamar. I try to keep it no nonsense. And then let me tell you something. I could be wrong about stuff. Maybe there is some real, crazy stuff, but the woo woo stuff, yeah, transdimensional travel by Bigfoots and all that, I don't believe it. But I could be wrong. I know I could be wrong, but I have to stick with what I believe. Not cave in so that I get more subscribers or whatever, which like some people do.